Hello, 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 and welcome to the Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, we're in harmony. Oh,
Happy
hello, hello, Heart,
Friday.
Mind, and Voice fam. Exactly. So excited to be back tonight. Well, I don't know why that one Saturday seems like a long time. Seems like it's a couple of Saturdays.
hmm
One. And y'all, just to get some homework work out of the way, we're going to be off for a little bit this month. I think we have a break next Saturday for other special engagements, and then we come back the following, and then I think we have another break that last Saturday. But I think everybody have a break that Saturday. That's like holiday party weekend for so many, especially breaking the summer off, Memorial Day weekend. You know how a lot of people get down with the Memorial
Yes.
Day weekend.
hmm
I don't really do
Hi,
nothing.
Meek Meek.
Hey, me.
So excited you're tuning in tonight. So we just want to get that out of the way. So we're going to enjoy the time that we have when we're here live and in full effect, you guys. So how's everybody doing tonight? How are you, ladies?
Good.
I'm
It's
great.
Saturday. I'm doing good.
All right, now. All right, now.
Yes.
Showing them shoulders and all. What about you, Miss Serious K?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. Looking forward to tomorrow because I'm relaxing.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's
Mother's
Monday, y'all.
Day.
Mother's Day.
Okay, right. So you have any special plans?
No, both my kids are not going to be in town, so they got work.
What?
They
Are
got
they going on
work.
vacation?
No, they have work.
Oh,
So yeah,
Oh,
uh-oh.
yeah.
Well,
So they both gonna be out of town. They're gonna be out of town at work.
oh,
wow.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, when their parent days time comes, then they'll be looking for that relaxation and break,
Yeah.
just like us.
Mhm.
They made up for it. They sent me a dozen roses today to the shop. So it
Oh,
was so sweet. They surprised me. So
Oh,
that
that was
is
yeah.
so
too sweet.
sweet. Yes, yes.
hmm
Oh,
Definitely a special weekend, Mother's Day. We're going to get off into that, saying our happy Mother's Day and any dedications or
yes.
any special words of expression that we want to say to the mothers of our life. And, we really do wish all the mothers, because I believe, people can represent motherhood in so many ways. Those that are,
Mhm.
of course, that are mothers, as well as those that may have taken that responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Those
Yes.
mothers or friends or sisters, mothers, friends or sisters, cousins, people that have adopted foster kids. I mean, just all over the globe that have taken that responsibility of being a mother to a child. So it's a very special honor. And I know we are all tonight extremely honored,
Yes.
to be mothers,
hmm
because we are definitely, mothers to our own very own little
Yes.
love bunch.
Coach Yolanda, even to those women who gave birth to businesses, they may not have a child, but they have a child in their business that, happy
Exactly.
Mother's Day to them as well.
And also to those that have their mothers to cats or kittens,
Oh
it's
gosh, no. That's
you know
true
what?
though.
The animals have to help parents too. Am I right? Am I right?
Hey.
Listen, after what I experienced just recent this week,
Oh.
The animals have to help parents as well, because somebody has to take care of them. Can they not? Can they? Well, some of them can't take care of themselves, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
oh
Mhm.
my gosh. My son had me dog sitting his dog, and that dog and I had a time of we were fighting, we were doing all type of stuff.
Oh my God, a little bitty puppy.
Because he's so stubborn. Like God, he's stubborn.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's plenty of animal lovers out there. So happy pet, mom, pet, whatever. Day to you. Happy Mother's Day again to all of the beautiful mothers across the world, to our own very own special moms. If you guys have dedications that you would like to express, definitely feel free to do so. I know my mom, I sent her something. We ain't gonna tell her that, I forgot. Anyway, she did get it today just in time. And she was so excited. My mom is prissy. She loves fashion. Mm-mm-mm. But she she loves fashion. So she loves pretty dresses, pretty outfits, and don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. But to the store and church. But she gotta be dazzled up. So she loved pretty things, dazzling things. So I made sure I took care of her in that area. So
Mhm.
my mom, she knows she's like a I don't know. I guess just out of respect, some people can say my mom is like a sister to me. I cannot say that. My mom is my mom.
Mhm.
I enjoy
Yeah.
saying mama. I
Mhm.
enjoy that. I do. I enjoy getting on her nerves. She said I get on her nerves. She she tells me, of course, I'm the oldest, and she said
Right.
I act like the youngest. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, she said, "Oh, you're always calling me." My mom is a Capricorn. Sorry, serious case.
Oh yeah. That's why she's so sweet. That's why
So Capricorn, you know how they are. They can be a little like, go on now, go on. So me all loving and everything. So, you know, a little too needy. But happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you. You do more than I could ever ask for. So, Serious
Aw.
K, Queen A, do you have any special dedications?
Yeah, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Miss Rosa. My mother is like, oh my God, this woman is so much to our family. Like, I mean, whenever if you're sick, you need to go to the hospital, you need a ride, you need somebody just to sit with you and talk. You having a bad day, she is there. She is that person. I mean, I have seen her take on the role of mama, papa, sister, whatever. But I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to her. We appreciate you. We see you. We love you. I sent her something today, and I know she haven't even looked and gotten it yet because she was sending me something from what's that? We always look at the little news break. She's sending me something from news break. I'm
Oh,
like,
Lord.
she ain't even got her stuff yet. She ain't said nothing. She texting me something from news break. So, Mama,
Typical mom.
look through your phone, check your notifications. You got something. Love you,
Typical
Mom.
mom.
Yes.
Mhm. Queen A, do you have a special dedication?
Yeah, I was trying not to get
Uh-oh.
yeah, I'm gonna hold back the tears, but I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to my beautiful angel, my mom, who passed away last year. This is the first year that I'm celebrating Mother's Day without her. So definitely want to wish her a happy Mother's Day. You never realize how much you value a person until they're gone. Of course, I valued her, I loved her tremendously, but you don't realize how much until they're gone, that how much their presence is missed. So happy Mother's Day, mommy. I miss you. I love you, but I know you're here with me in spirit. Also, happy Mother's Day to my Aunt Cassandra, Aunt Diane. They're my mom's sisters. They have been like mothers to me for so long. They always being there for me, always looking out for me. And I just thank God for family. And my mentor, my spiritual mother, Pastor Deborah Jordan. She is amazing. She's just been such a mother. She mentored me. She prophesied with me, pray over me, pray with me. And I just love her. And I thank every single mother that I have come across because they have imparted something in me, whether they know it or not. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just got to slap my hand right quick
Uh-huh.
because I didn't say Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law.
yeah, Kim.
Now you know them.
I know. Ma Bo, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. She's kind of like your mama. She's prissy and like dazzling things, and she's like she's like my second mama. She's the other part of me. She like the
Aw.
the prissy one, and mama is like the
Yeah.
one that's there. She's the other part. But happy Mother's Day to you. I love you, and I thank God for you.
Yes, yes. We thank God for our beautiful mothers that are here and that are looking down and smiling on us like
Mhm.
that's the way to do it. That's my girl. That's my boy. It's plenty of those. So especially when we can go back and talk about the grandmothers, but that's a whole nother
Oh
story.
yes,
Oh, Lord,
oh
yes.
We all be on this side. But
I
yes.
know.
off into the show, we just want to do some special acknowledgments. There were a few lost. I'm sure more than what we know, but definitely two in particular. That we did come across this week that we have lost YouTube influencers. I know one was a pastor as well and did some other things. His name was Ryan Chandler. Some people knew, a lot of people knew him. He was a major influence. He was a pastor, and he's no longer here. We definitely send our condolences to the family. Prayers and thoughts are with you. And then another YouTuber, Kevin Samuel. Is no longer with us as well. Many knew him as well. So we send our condolences, and we will send our thoughts and prayers to the family as well. So let's get off into the show, ladies. We're going to start off with our...
What's her name? Is it Natalie Jude? Was it Kim? What's her name? Natalie.
Judd. Naomi Judd.
Yeah, Naomi. Sorry, you always mess up names.
Yeah, 76 years old.
Family as well. Yeah, it's so hard when we lose individual, even if we don't know them. Especially celebrities, we feel attached somehow, some way. Especially the Judd has been around for ages, and beautiful, beautiful spirit. So send our prayers and thoughts to the family. So getting off into our show, we want to start off tonight with our very own hot topic. I'll tell you the truth. This is not funny, but now when I saw this, the way he was attacked, now that for real looks staged.
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of theories came up in my mind. I'm like, oh, they're trying to send a subliminal message out there because of what happened to him after the fact. But then I'm like, will someone be willing, unless they get paid off, will they be willing to have their arm turned around, get beat up so bad? I don't know. But anyway,
I didn't expect that to happen.
At the end of the day, right, exactly.
Look at his arm. It's not funny, but look at his arm.
Horrible.
Like it hurts.
It's so sad. So come to find out that the DA the DA dropped his case because that was not considered a felony attacking Dave Chappelle, but it's going to be a couple of several misdemeanors. And I'm like, okay, well, you know how that goes. So what are your thoughts on this situation? You guys tell me.
Well, I don't know. I was just tripping off, how Chris Rock got up there. What did he say? Was that Will Smith?
I heard that.
And then so now finally he's like talking, because they also said that something about Will Smith. He said something about Will Smith being weak or something like that. Will Smith's attack being weak. But anyway, I actually think that this guy should be charged with more than a misdemeanor. Like, come on, because he had a weapon. He had a gun that it was like a knife that looked like a gun. Yeah. So I mean, ain't that like a attempted murder?
Exactly.
I mean, because he could have stabbed him. He could have killed him. I think that he needed more security, and as I understand, this stems from the transgender jokes that he told, and he even said the guy was, he must be from the transgender or LGBT or something. So you have to be careful with what you say, and especially with certain particular groups of people, because they're very strong in what they believe in and in who they are. It's like you're attacking their identity. I don't know if this is for sure if this guy was from that community, but I'm saying the attack was unnecessary, but we have to be careful with the things that we say. I definitely think that this guy needs to be charged with more than just a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Queen A, what are your thoughts?
I like what our producer, she had mentioned, she had put something in our chat. So I don't like this comment, but this comment is very interesting. But before I get to the comment, I just think it's crazy what happened. I wish I had done, I'm a big astrology person. I wish I had done astrology on Dave Chappelle to find out, but I had not, to find out what happened. But it's something on these comedians, y'all, that's going. I mean, well, I would say, these comedians, it's something going on, and I don't know what that is. But it's interesting how I don't know why he just jumped up and attacked him. What was that reason behind that? But Chris Rock reported, or he said something. He responded on Tuesday, and he said to Hollywood Bowl set, and he said, "I got smacked by one of the softest, the N word he used that ever rapped." I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, that's crazy. So it goes to show, like, I mean, first of all, I keep like the thing with Will Smith when he smacked him, I kept replaying it. Dave Chappelle incident, I kept replaying it because I'm like, what's going on? And it's like, I think it's not funny, but I have to laugh at these incidents because I'm like, I don't understand what is going on. And so much stuff in the world going on. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at it, like, this is what is going on. So and especially like especially when you saw Dave Chappelle, like when they took the guy down, he stopped for a minute and he was like on his knees, like, what the hell just happened? So it's just that's what I'm looking at, like, what is going on? And thank God he wasn't hurt. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just really crazy wow. Have you guys, like, who are some of the what are some, I guess, who have you seen so far in a comedy show? Did you go see Care? Have you seen Kevin Hart?
So many people.
Yeah, I can't
Some
remember.
well known.
Oh
well
my
known,
God.
well known. Like the well known. The well known.
Yeah,
There's
so
plenty of
many
comedians.
people.
I'm talking about the well known.
Yes. So many. Oh my God. Bruce.
Who have I seen that's raw and
Lord.
just might get
Oh
attacked?
my.
Not so much as attacked, but joked about.
You know who I'm surprised.
Steve Harvey. I've seen a lot of people. Woo,
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Cat Williams never got attacked.
I know.
Yeah. Do
Mike
he joke on
Epps.
people a lot? I've seen him. Do he joke?
No, he more personal. He joke more,
Yeah.
I mean, he may, like,
Yeah.
say he in a certain city, he may talk about the people in the city, he may talk about different races, but he don't get really raw with it, like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, they put it in perspective. Even when seeing Steve Harvey at a comedy show, everything is in perspective. Like, if someone get involved, you need to be joked about. What you walking for?
Yeah. They do that.
I'm trying to watch the show, but just to randomly select somebody and talk about them. I mean, it's comedy, but
Well, some people, I feel like they're just not that creative, so they have to joke on people and about people. Like, but you know what? Nicky Deal has gotten a lot better now that he's more mature. His shows, like he used to do that a lot, talk about everybody in the audience. But it seems like now that he's older, he's more personal. He talks a lot about his age, and being older and just stuff like that. But I noticed the more well-seasoned comedians, they don't really do a lot of
really attack the audience.
attacking people.
But everybody's more sensitive lately. So you just
we don't even want to get off into that.
Yeah, so you gotta be mindful because I mean, back then, like you said, Kim, DL Hughley, he did, or Nikki in the comments, DL Hughley, he did get on people in the audience, but now with everything that's transpiring in the world, people are so sensitive lately, and so you got to be really mindful of what you're saying.
Yeah, and you got certain people that are very passionate about their beliefs, and like I said earlier, who they are. They're very passionate about that, and when you attack that, they feel attacked, even if you're not talking about them personally, but it's their group. They're the people that they
right.
The people that they're the group that they're a part of. They're very passionate, so you never know what you get, what's gonna happen.
That's true. I've seen. You're right. The season ones, they usually talk about, like, I love going to Kevin Hart, and he's coming soon here in Dallas. I love going to one of his shows because he puts his life on. He puts his life on Front Street. I mean, he talks on Front Street. He talks about from his daughters. I mean, his daughter, his, he talks about his entire family, So he
Yes.
is so funny. He's so authentic, so original with his stuff,
Mhm.
with what and he doesn't have to, like I said, I think it's funny. I think it's necessary that someone get up and walk and while you're in the midst of, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't even like that in church, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
but I know people have to get up and, use the bathroom or whatever they want to do. But,
Mhm.
I think that it's really funny when they can use their own personal life and make a joke. Because I think it's healing for them, especially so many comedians go through a lot of depression, a lot of mental health challenges.
Mhm.
It's good when they can take the bad in their life and make it funny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Mhm.
they made light of the situation. They've overcame the situation, and if they haven't after that joke and after they, wooing the audience,
Yeah.
then they
Yes.
begin to grow and move forward. So it's a bad situation, but good. Everything came out. Dave Chappelle is good, and hopefully, good jokes will continue.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Before we
Ooh.
get started into our topics, be sure to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube page, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to check out our podcast weekly on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. Okay, ladies, are you ready for some good topics tonight?
Of course.
So the
Always.
first one, since we're celebrating mothers, and I hate to take this curveball, but this is a curveball, fam. This is a curveball. This is beautiful Mother's Day weekend, but we want to talk about some conversations around the Mother's Day weekend when it comes to Mother's Day gift. Many of us are married, some of us are dating. This is not so much for the single, but this is more so for the married and the dating, those that are in relationship with that significant other. So, how do you feel when your significant other, your husband or boyfriend or whatever you want to call them, says that they're going to get their mother this diamond necklace and they're going to get you a bed of roses, or they're going to get you some chocolate coated strawberries and get their mother this new car for Mother's Day. So, in other words, you see the difference, right, with the
Mhm.
gifts.
Mhm.
Chocolate strawberries, a new car. And granted, some of us may not need a new car, but then, as wives, as girlfriends, we still measure it. So how do you feel when that spouse feels like his mother comes first? As far as Mother's Day, he's gonna spend Mother's Day with his mom, he's gonna celebrate his mom in every which way, and you'll get the leftovers or whatever it is. You can come with him or you can stay here, but it's all about his mom.
Well,
I,
in my opinion, in my opinion, I mean, I love a man who honor his mother, but if her gift is very extravagant, first of all, I mean, you got to look at if you have a child by him, that's a whole different story. But I broke up with someone who I didn't have a child by him, but I broke up with him based on the gift he gave me for Mother's Day. And so we got into a bad argument. And I mean, and again, I didn't have his child, but I do want to be acknowledged, as a mother. And so, so because I acknowledged him very well on Father's Day. So, he got his mother something, but the thing that got me was, and maybe there's a little jealousy on my part, but the thing that got me was ex, his ex girlfriend, his son's mother. He got her an extravagant gift and went all the way out, and she was already in a relationship and everything. And I mean, I get that, but I didn't understand I don't want to say the point. I don't want to sound like, but I love that he honored her and everything. But the fact that he went so way out just to really honor
Mhm.
her and did not do that for me, although we didn't have a child. So it got ugly. So and so it does bother me to an extent, but again, I love a man who acknowledged that he has the mother of his child or the mother who gave birth to him. I love it because it shows what type of man he is, but also I want him just to acknowledge me as equal, or either we have a child or not, I'm still a mother. He knows that. And so I definitely want that type of respect.
Yeah.
That's right. Serious K.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's like I love a man that loves his mother and takes care of his mother, but as Queen A said, I would like to be shown some love too.
Mhm.
Um, I am a mother. I don't have any children, biological children with my husband, but he views my kids as his own, even though they're grown children. And so, yeah, so I expect to get a little something for Mother's Day.
Mhm.
The sad part is you have. I mean, I think that's good that he does acknowledge me, because you have some men that feel like they don't have to. I don't
Mhm.
have to get my significant other anything because she's not my mama. I'm
Right.
just gonna buy my mama something. Mother's Day is for mama, for my mama. So so
Mhm.
I
That's
think,
right.
yeah, I mean, it's like, no, it's like that woman is a mother.
Yeah.
And most of the time, us women, we put this stuff all together. We the ones that make things work.
Yep.
We make it all work. I mean, so,
Absolutely.
and even if we're not mothers, we've been a mother to somebody. You
Mhm.
Yeah.
know, we've been a mother to someone. Queen A
Yeah.
said earlier, we birthed businesses, we birthed things. We've
Yeah.
even helped them birth things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men, things that their dreams and their aspirations, we help them birth those things. So I mean,
Absolutely.
just still acknowledge me as your woman, as your co-birther.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, yeah,
That's
so
right. Yeah.
yeah, you have to acknowledge the special women in your life. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a lot.
You
This
know,
question.
some men feel like, I always gotta bring this up. Some men feel like sex is like, like, oh, I'm gonna give her some good loving, and that's gonna be her Mother's Day gift. Yeah,
Ooh.
because that's actually like part of the reason why we broke up. But, thought that was like gonna be a good gift. And I'm like, you don't take your Peter Weeder out here, take you and your Peter Weeder out. So, I mean, yeah, because it's like, I mean, you know what? It is nice. Like, it is a thought that counts, right? And it is nice to say he make you a nice dinner. And, it don't even have to be about present giving, but he acknowledged you in some way, like a nice dinner, a massage, or, or whatever. Like, it depends on the woman, what she likes, but acknowledge in some way. And sex and loving like that is not a Mother's Day gift. That to them is the gift to them, but to
It's
us,
a gift for any occasion to them.
right?
It's
But
like,
to us,
no,
I'm like,
I'm still mad.
yeah. I was like, listen, I open the door. Yo, take you and your Peter Weeder out here. That's
Do you
it.
guys think that more mature, older men should know, or do you think young men would understand the difference, between celebrate Mother's Day with their significant spouse or significant other, as well as mom? Do you think a guy that's like 28, 29, 30, 35 would know better or as much as a 50-year-old when it
No.
comes to this particular topic?
I think it depends on the way that the guy was raised, how he
Yeah.
was raised. Even with the older men that say stupid stuff like, you're not my mother, I'm gonna get my mother. That says a lot about his mother to me,
Hmm.
in my opinion. That says a lot about how you were raised,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I can remember when me and my husband, we were just dating. He hadn't even proposed yet. And I never forget, it was on Mother's Day and I didn't expect this. He just walked through the door with a bouquet of roses. And he's like, I'm like, what's that for? He's like, Happy Mother's Day. I'm like, oh, thank you. He was just a boyfriend. But
Uh-huh.
that was so sweet to me because I feel like, I'm like, he don't have to do this. Like, he don't even know me
Mhm.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it
it's
depends on
good to let the
the
mothers. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. And another thing I want to piggyback back off what you said, Series K, and also add validity to it because with me just witnessing mothers talk to their young sons about dating, having conversations with their young sons
Mhm.
or son about dating, like, okay, if you're done with one, end it before you get off into a relationship. I thought that, and I actually witnessed that from a mother, a young mother, and her son having that conversation with her young 20-something-year-old son, or 18 at the time. He may have been barely 20 at the time. Ended with this young lady. If you're wanting to, jump off into a relationship with another, don't bring all different types of girls around here. If that's the life you want to live, that's not the life I'm gonna support. Mind you, 18. He was between 18 and 20. He wasn't, a little younger. She just didn't play that at all as a youngin, but a young man. And having those conversations while he, was growing up. Now he's a, good young man. But I think it has a lot to do with what you're saying, Serious Cat, how, parents raise mothers and fathers, of course, but definitely mothers have conversations with their sons. Hey, that's not cool. It's cool with your friends or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's really not cool. If you really want a cool young lady to be just as cool as you are, someone you can hang out and have some fun with, you got to learn about the depths of respect. You got to learn about, how to be cool with a girl. If you want a girl to be your friend, turn lover, well, learn how to be a friend to her. A female being a friend to a female, a male being a friend, for real friend to a female, there's a whole lot of level of respect there, and commonality there. So learn that. So I think that's very important. That parents are missing these days, as far as having those conversations with. Go ahead.
So when you think about, like, say, for, as mothers, how we are with our boys, and I know, both of you and how you are and speak to your children and everything. But one thing I would say is, although like a mother can raise a son and, teach him certain things, one thing I would say, and this is what I've learned, especially in communication courses, especially, dating and everything. When it comes to communication, like, a man or anybody for that matter is not a mind reader. So although he may have been taught certain things, like, as women, we still need to be able to tell him, because, like, it's like the person I date, like, I sometimes I'm saying, okay, you're supposed to know that, but I have to remember, no, he wouldn't know. And so, and that's what we gotta always, because it's like, for us as women, like, if we're gonna earn respect or whatever, we have to learn how to communicate to that person, let them know what we want, what we demand. No, I don't want to say demand, in a sense, but the respect, but what we, what we want, what we looking for, because again, they won't understand, even though a woman, a mother could have taught her son to be so well, so good, so, such a good person. Again, he may go into a relationship and that person is totally different from what his mother taught him. So he has to relearn, in a sense. And so we got to be able to communicate to our men what we're looking for and not expect them to read minds. So especially it's like, okay, like, like for Mother's Day. Okay, I should be the first person you call after your mother, second after your mother. And if we don't say that, and we, 2 hours, 3 hours past, the morning had started and this person didn't contact us, and we feel it in our head, but he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't know that's what we want or that's what we're looking for. So we have to communicate that.
That's absolutely true. Now, shifting gears a little bit, y'all, we do know that this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And oh my God, how mental health is like on the forefront, especially in our community in particular. It's definitely at the forefront. So we want to talk about, I don't know, HMD fam, have you guys at least heard of the term high functioning depression? I mean, truth be told, you see it every day, all around you, especially at work, all day, every single day. I'm sure, and Serious K is going to educate us and enlighten us on it, high functioning depression, as well as if you do have some knowledge on the statistics when it comes to, is it 1 in every 2 person, 1 in every 5 that's dealing with some type of mental health disorder or mental health challenge? Serious K, please tell us.
Okay, now I didn't look up any statistics, but I will say this: high functioning depression is there's still research being done, because surprisingly, this is new to the psychology community. And they're actually starting to try to do research on, because high functioning depression is so hidden, so well hidden. You can hide it so well, and it's so rare and unknown. Now they're trying to do research through visualization, like watching your people's social media pages, looking at their pictures and just looking at their facial expressions and watching their videos and just listening for certain keywords to figure out if they're depressed or not, and also monitoring like comments and things that they're saying and things that they're putting on social media, because for some reason we know that people are more prone to talk to strangers than they are to people that they know. So they are still researching this and going, like I said, going through ways through social media, because that's the new way of communication now. Now, high functioning depression, some of the symptoms are similar, of course, to our classic depression. The sleeping, the just insecurities, feeling sad all the time. But the difference is, with high functioning depression, you can go outside and you can talk to people, you can be happy, you can still go to work, you can still you can go shopping with your girls, you can still go to brunch with your girls for mimosa, and everybody thinks that everything is okay. But one of the key factors, one of the things to watch out for is when you ask that person, how are they kind of deflect or stray away from telling you how they are. Okay, just by them saying, I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? But they just said, I'm fine. But, how are you? How is your family? How is this person? How is that person? But they're deflecting, because if they say too much, then it's going to pour out. It's going to pour out. So they have to be careful with what they say. And this is some of the symptoms of high functioning depression. I just want to read some of the stuff that I researched. Okay. The somatic symptoms of depression, which are the things that we feel, that some of it is neurological, like the headaches, the fainting, sometimes they feel pain. They have digestive problems because they won't eat, of course. So, that's unhealthy. They start having digestive problems. These are just some of the signs to watch out for. Okay. And the cognitive effects of these symptoms are, you can't function. They're indecisive. They feel worthless. They have a loss of pleasure. Nothing really excites them. Nothing motivates them. Nothing moves them. They harp on their past failures all the time. They feel guilty. They have guilty feelings of being well accomplished. They apologize for their accomplishments. And the young lady, what was her name? The former Miss USA girl. That was one of her problems. Like she was very well accomplished, but she was lonely. She had a family, she had a mother, but she was still lonely. And these people are high at risk for suicide when they have these, because pain hurts. We don't want to feel pain all the time. We want to get rid of the pain. When we feel like we're a burden on people, or we feel guilty of these accomplishments, we feel like, okay, I shouldn't even be here because I'm making everybody else upset. I'm making everybody else sad. I'm a burden on people. So people like that, they are at high risk for suicide. And again, you want to, especially your strong friends, like we say, you really want to check on these people. These are the people that suffer from high functioning depression. These are not just the people that just like go about their day, the lazy daisies. These are people that are at high levels, people that are goal chasers, goal getters. These people suffer from that. They may look good on the outside, but on the inside, they're not. They're sick. They're not well. So I say, call them, check on them. We always go, oh girl, she all right, she got this and that, all this going on. But no, that's a false narrative, because that's not always the case. People always think that because you got it going on, or you're looking nice, or you got this, you're okay. I just learned today, not today, but I'm saying this year that I suffer from anxiety. I just learned this. I
Mhm.
just learned this. I thought that I was just an overthinker. See, we take one thing and we take it for another, but that's not really the definition of an overthinker. I have high anxiety.
Yeah.
Things bother me and I go over them in my mind over and over again. I try to figure out how to fix it. How can I fix it? I go to sleep thinking about how to fix it, how to fix it. And one of the symptoms, one of the things that I do is I shop and spend money. I'm like, oh my God, this is an effect of this. Because when my mind races, I feel like I need to do something. And I get on my phone and I start buying stuff. And so I'm glad that I learned that, because today I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pick up my phone and shop. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to meditate. And I just want to say this one last thing. One exercise that you can do when your brain takes you to a place that you don't want to be, that you feel uncomfortable, you can practice a thing. This is another type of visualization. Close your eyes and go to a place where I love the beach. I start thinking about the beach. I start thinking about happy things. I start thinking about my kids' faces when they were little, their cute little faces smiling. And it takes me away from that. You know, you have to hurt. It's okay to feel, but you have to find ways to get out of it. And that's my way. That's the way I get out of it. I think about good stuff. So just wanted to share my 2 cents.
Honey, that was 15 cents. Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
That's really good. Queen A, did you have any thoughts on it?
So I was looking, I was doing a research on it. I think it was Medical News Today. I forgot the website exactly, but they talked about another word for high function depression is persistent depression disorder, which is consistently you don't recognize that it persists, and you definitely need some support and help around that. But former Miss USA Chelsea Chris mom say daughter's high function depression, she wore the face. So I guess from that she's saying that she I guess I don't know what that term mean for her, but she had the face of like she just happy and everything, but deep down inside she wasn't happy. And some people may not recognize that, when it's persistent, it's like you don't recognize what's causing it. You just constantly feel maybe having insomnia, maybe oversleeping, loss of appetite, constantly feeling guilt. One thing I realized as well is overachievers, is because I was that person before, like an overachiever or perfectionist. And I had to get out of that because it was causing some form of depression when things were not perfect, or when things, or for instance, if I didn't reach a goal, especially the time that I wanted to reach it, is like, I'll start to feel guilty. I'll start to really get, like come down on myself a lot. And because things weren't perfect, it will really, really cause me to feel a certain way. And like you said, Kim, I would constantly overthink it. At night, I'm not sleeping at all. Before, I wasn't sleeping at all because, because I'm constantly overthinking, like, did I do that right? Did I do?
Yeah.
So it was, and I didn't recognize that it was actually a form of depression. And so, like you said, Kim, it is ways. I know through spirituality. Also, I knew, through awareness. Like once you have the awareness of it, you are better to, work on it and be aligned. Some people refuse to admit it. You got to be honest with yourself about it. And so when people were telling me, like, oh, I think you're depressed. I mean, I was ready to curse them out. Like, don't you dare say that to me.
Right.
And so, and then you want to sit up there and rebuke a person, like, don't speak that over my life.
I know.
But it is true. And somebody brought something to my awareness, a few years ago. And that's when I began to really work on, myself. So I think it's people that, in these jobs, like so many people I work in corporate, so many people in corporate you don't even recognize that are functioning, and they are depressed, but they are, how can I say it? My mom used a term before. This had nothing to do with what I'm saying, but the term was functioning alcoholics, right?
Yeah. I remember that term.
They can drink and still function, or people, people can do drugs and still function. Like people can have depression and still function, and you don't even recognize that, that they're going through a depression. But you can notice signs, like anything that's different and that's persistent. Like say the difference may be oversleeping or constantly sleeping, and it's persistent. When they didn't do that in the past, then that's an indication, hey, what's going on with you? You know, that's when you want to kind of ask those questions. And it's like, even for my son, I recognize like he didn't drink before. And it's like, I started noticing, you know, I have alcohol in my house, and I started noticing like I barely drink, but I started noticing the, you know, the bottle getting lower. So I had to pull him to the side. Hey, what's going on? Like I noticed something. He think I overlook or overanalyze. I'm like, he's like, no, I'm just, you know, having fun or whatever. But I'm like, no, this is not the norm. So you got to really begin to recognize when something is not the norm. But even for yourself, you know, admit it. You don't, if you don't want to talk to a person or have people know, maybe speak to a therapist.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you know what I noticed about her letter to her mother and the other young lady that went to Southern University, the letter she wrote, both those people. So these are two other sides, I guess, that we could kind of take note of. They both talked about how they didn't please people. Like everything they did wasn't enough. So these people are also people pleasers. You know, so that's why they were doing all these accomplishments. They was doing all these things. It wasn't for themselves. They was doing it to feel accepted by people. So people that are high functioning, have high functioning depression, they seek validation from other people. Yeah.
Very true. And I would definitely say social media has so many good um, benefits and good features about it. You know, it's but it has a lot of bad. It comes up. It's like a good and bad. It's a bittersweet thing. It's the way of the world today, but it definitely has some ups and downs. But you know, I would say in light of it, and one of the good things, it is highlighting and making us aware because more people are in tune with education and becoming more aware and more enlightened and you know how we whole bodies whole body and soul and spirit and everything
Yeah.
and how we function and how we're developed entirely, that it is bringing that awareness. It has, like I say, tons of good, but it also has tons of bad because a lot of people see
Yeah.
social media a lot. It's bringing to light, it's shedding light, exposing those high functioning, depressed individuals. One of the things that you said, Series K, about the how are you, I listen to the Breakfast Club a lot, and Charlemagne the God said he doesn't just ask how are you, he asks how's your energy. I think that's one of the most
Oh, I love
most
that.
Mm-hmm.
to ask someone, because first of all, you're gonna catch them off guard. Like
Yeah.
I was like, you're gonna think about that. Like, what do you mean? Wait, how do I feel?
I love that. Yeah, that's
Remember,
good.
you asked how's your energy, and I'm like, I absolutely love that. How is your energy? And if
Yeah.
you think about it, you can just ask yourself that. How is my energy right now? Think about it. Why is your energy so low or so high? Besides the black coffee, or or if you just ask yourself that, don't have to share it or whatever, but if you just ask yourself that, not someone else asks, how is your energy? But if you just say, how is my energy right now? And why do I feel like blah? You know,
Wow.
so, or why am I so happy? If it's that. But I always say we can, pretend in front of others and be this other person, you know, to someone else, but we can never pretend to ourselves or camouflage, to ourselves because we know us as much as God knows us, and God knows us better than we know ourselves. We say that all the time, and then you got little Lucifer that know us.
Right. Right.
So it's, I think, and especially in this time frame, this dispensation of time with the pandemic and just with Trump leaving the office, and it seemed like just everything is just coming to a head, like about to burst. The emotional intelligence of people is at an all-time low, and people
Mm-hmm.
are so sensitive and just snap off. I have never seen. Do you guys ever think about? Sometimes you go in the store. Will you be that next TikTok video?
Yeah.
No.
Pop off on me. when you think about how will you handle it? How will I handle it?
Yeah.
Do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
You know, how will I handle somebody care and say something to me crazy?
Listen, I forgot the other day. I forgot, Coach Lord. I was telling you, I went off on somebody in the store.
There you have it.
I forgot what it was. Oh, I forgot what it was, but I went off on somebody.
In the store?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
My mind.
But it was another. My son had an incident where he got his car from, and I was telling Coach Shalonda.
Oh
I
yeah.
said, I said, you know what? I dressed a certain way. I said, just in case anything go down.
See what I'm talking
Oh
about?
Lord, really?
Uh-uh.
You have your Vaseline in sneakers, tennis shoes
Just
on.
I have my hair a certain way.
We
I
got to
Oh.
do better.
said, but you know what? Maybe I should wear heels just in case somebody like put me on TikTok or something. So in the gym, jogging suit with some heels on.
Oh my God.
You know how mothers feel about their child. Don't mess with my child.
Yes, yes, yes.
But Coach Alana, really quick, before we move on, I had I'm going through this so I had some medical challenges, and I decided to stop going to the doctor because it would just cost me ridiculous money, and all I was doing was going every month, and they were feeding the symptoms and not the root cause. So I decided to go to this place called Zoe Wellness. It's a holistic approach, holistic doctors, and when I tell you, it's been amazing so far, and I've been losing. I had inflammation before and didn't know why, but I'm saying this because what I've learned through this. So I'm a big energy person. Like, I study the chakras, the auras, the chakras, and everything. And it's important to have your energy in check, right? And so what I've learned in this is because I told you I was constantly feeling sluggish, and the field of study, the field of work that I'm in, I have to have like total focus and concentration. And I was just having a lot of brain fog, no energy. So when they did the test, he was like, your body is of a 60-year-old. And he was like, you should be operating as like a 30 or 40 something year old at your age. So he did a test, they did a scan, and they determined what's all in your body. And you don't even recognize how much toxins that's going on, that something small, but they do like allergy tests and everything. And something simple like cleaning products, you don't even know that you're breathing this in and it's affecting you. Like, I didn't know I have allergic reaction to pine sol. I didn't know that I have allergic reaction to broccoli, and because of certain things that they had, I don't know what they pesticides or whatever it is, but I didn't even recognize how all these things was affecting my body. And so I did a complete different dietary change, and I've been seeing the weight loss without even the medical stuff, and I've just been seeing an amazing weight loss and a different level of energy, and it's just been so good. But I'm saying that also because one of the tests came back with a condition like something with the heart. And I remember a holistic doctor told me this years ago, to be mindful of the heart. Now, I'm not gonna get to astrology, y'all, but that's another thing. I was gonna say really quick. So when astrology, this is why I always tell people get their chart. When I took it the 8th house, right, my Saturn is in Leo. Leo deals with the heart. So around a certain age, you'll begin to have challenges if your Saturn in the 8th house, which deals with death. This could be an issue, and you can have a sudden death dealing with the heart. So when he mentioned to me these issues with the heart, I'm like, this confirming what a holistic doctor said years ago. And so I began to do the study and just working with them and understanding what was going on with the heart and also some other things. Now, when he told me this, he also talked about energy. So he said with the heart, you may feel like your heart chakra may be blocked. So when it comes to matter of love, you may be kind of distant or won't fully open yourself up to love, or you won't trust because this energy is affected, because you have these toxins or whatever in your body that's affecting the heart. So he talked about also the reproductive organs, like you may be, not feeling a certain way, in the energy level when it comes to like maybe sex, or maybe not having sex, or whatever, whatever it is, not just sex, but when you think about a woman's reproductive, it deals with her creativity, not just having sex, but her creativity. So your creativity may be off. So it was just very interesting to learn all of that and to see how if those areas of your life and those organs in your body is not operating at optimum level, it can affect other areas externally in your life, such as money, such as love, such as creativity. So it's really good to have like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a bioscan or whatever, which is a
Yeah.
technology that scans everything that's going on in your body and tells you everything that's going wrong. And you get to see on an energy level how it's affecting your life externally. So when he was telling me this, I'm like, all of this makes so much sense. So it was just very interesting to get that study and to study my body and see what's going on and to make the correction. So I would say definitely make the correction. Even depression, sometimes depression, it is something internal, but sometimes internal could be medical and you don't even recognize. It could be something eating, drinking. It could be something like something in your body that you don't even know that you have, or like like for me, inflammation or whatever it is that's affecting you, and you don't even recognize it. And you may feel like depressed, you may feel like not happy, not as creative, you may feel money blockages, and all of these have to do with what's going on externally in the body. So
That's
And
right.
that's the dangerous part of depression too, because depression leads to a lot of illnesses. We know like stroke and ulcers and diabetes and high blood pressure, and then that mess with a lot of your other organs. You know what I mean? And so it tears down the whole system. But I did want to say, earlier, Coach Yolanda asked me about the stats. I didn't find the stats, but I did research the numbers. Over 3 million people in America are diagnosed with depression a year. Over 3 million
A year.
Americans
A year.
a year.
That's why we gotta change our diets too. I'm telling you, like that diet
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Wow. That's
Yeah.
really hard, HMB fam. Well, let's try to get in one of our very last conversations, which I don't know if we're gonna finish this one because this is a really good topic too. Social biases, stereotyping, you guys, when it comes to cultures in particular. Oh my God. But we can talk about so much when it comes to social biases. We don't just have to stay with the cultures, although a lot happen in the different cultures. Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially one in particular. But anyway, we're gonna get off into social biases, and we're gonna talk about some of the biases out there. I mean, we don't just have to stay. We can talk about ageism. We can talk about names. You know what I'm saying? Like there are biases when it comes to Jaquan and Quita. You know what I'm saying? Tina, Becky with the good hair. Um, yeah, let's definitely. But do you guys know something? When I looked up social biases, there can be good and there can be bad.
Uh-huh.
Like wow, but you don't think about it as being good when you're aware of it. Just as a bias, you're like, oh, you're like, of course, but there could be some that are considered not bad as far as social biases. But I will tell you, culture is definitely number one because certain cultures, live a certain way, do certain things, eat a certain way. As far as their size, most of them are a certain size. Compared to other cultures, you got us all sizes. I think we are probably the most rainbow culture, the Black culture. Would y'all say that? I would say
Yeah.
we're rainbow
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say that. Yeah.
because we cannot. Um, some of our family members can be this light and they're black. I ain't gonna say one,
Yeah.
but black. And then we can have some this color.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not African, they're just black. When it comes to that, and I would definitely say when it comes to the workforce is when I see probably the ageism the most as far as the bias when it comes into the work.
Yeah,
Work,
definitely.
I would definitely say ageism is huge when it comes to that. So what do you ladies think? What do you think about yourself? Wait. Serious K, we want Queen A to talk about it. We want her because Queen A, yeah, we want her to talk about stereotyping or social bias.
So for one, I love this. What's his name? Nelson Mandela. He said, I'm gonna start off, good. So he said, we slaughter one another in our words and attitudes. We slaughter one another in the stereotypes and mistrust that linger in our heads and the words of hate we spew from our lips. So I love that. And I would say this because I have been dating someone who's an Indian, and my stereotype and biases, I'm having I don't want to say hard time fully opening up, but we have conversations. And for him, like he may think that Black people are lazy. And for me, I may think that Indians are scammers. And so, we get into these conversations and the differences, and, and he's, sometimes it's more of me, but he gets upset because he's like, well, why do not all of us are like that? And he was like, well, Indians are one of the smartest people, in the world. So why? And I'm like, well, then he says, well, it's usually Nigerians who scam. So even him, he have a bias, right? But I forgot as a quote too, somebody said that we all have biases and stereotypes, whether we know it or not. And so I think every single person, but I think stereotypes sometimes is good because it can protect you. But so for me, in dating this guy, we have constant conversations about each other, cultures and race. And, sometimes he get a little irritated behind it. But again, it's like sometimes I have my guard up because I'm like, what is he up to? What is he, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to scam, or what is he trying to get from me? So I'm always in my head about it. And it's like, it drives me insane. And so, we go out and sometimes just gotta have to have a little drink to kind of cool, and I like him a lot, but it's like that stereotype, that bias is very strong there. And I try to let it go, but I'm having a little bit of a challenge in letting it go. So, and just because, I'm not saying all Indians, I've worked with Indians, I work with a lot of Indians, and a lot of them are so great, so smart. But also I know I dealt with some who were, backstabbers, and they'd be so nice, this is my stereotype. It's not true, y'all. It's stereotype. So, they'd be so nice, and, and especially he's like such a sweetheart. I mean, my God, he's such a sweetheart. But when they say things like, no problem, it's a problem. And he says it often. So I'm like, uh-oh. And just, it could have been from the experience I had, working with somebody in the workplace where he'd be like, no problem, and something major happened. And it could have been just, a traumatic experience where when I hear that term, I'm like, the red flags go up, like, uh-oh. So, yeah.
Serious K, what are your thoughts on it, honey?
Oh, well, so y'all know I can't speak on this without going into to school stuff. Well, those things that you and him, those biases that y'all have, the known biases, those are called explicit biases. Those are the ones that you have, like you're biased against it because you dealt with scammers before. You know them to be scammers. That's right. Explicit. And then we also have implicit biases that we don't even know we have. They have what they call implicit association test. We had to take this for a class one time. This shows you your biases, and y'all can Google it and take it if you want to. So when you go in there, you can choose which test you want to take. You can see if you're gender bias, race bias, age bias, weapons bias, all this. So I took 3 tests, and oh my God, it told me that I'm so embarrassed to say this. The test told that I was biased with associating Black people with harmful weapons.
Wow.
Versus white people with safe objects.
Wow.
Yes. And it told me that I was biased, preferably biased. I preferred older people over young people, but all that was the opposite to me, because I'm like, wait a minute, these are my people. I associate with them. So now to me, so when I wrote my paper, I'm like, everybody, all groups, all cultures are prone to, use weapons if they're angry enough, depending on their mental state. So I don't believe that I only associate Black people to weapons. I associate white people to harmful weapons too. You
Right.
know, and the old people, in my mind, my favorite people are old people, babies, and special needs people. And I'm like, y'all lying. Y'all lying. I don't like young people. I love old people. So, you know, it just have you like going through these pictures and choosing and going real fast and this and that. And so it just kind of like tests your consciousness basically. So, but it was pretty fun. So, and I did admit that I have in-group bias, which is I identify with and I lean more towards with my group. You know, Black people, I do. So,
I lean more with my group too. I know
yeah,
I'm
so
going to
I'm
say
like, yeah,
something.
I do have an in-group bias. So I'm like, yeah, I got a little work. I got a little work. I need to work on that because we all have to be culturally competent. So Queen A, you have to be culturally competent.
Oh, she is.
You need to do your research on his people and find out who they really are, what their attitudes and behaviors and positions really are, instead of leaning on the stereotypes that we see and we hear, because that causes us to become prejudiced. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what? I've definitely studied, his culture and kind of understand. Like I've been doing a lot of research on it. And like one thing I thought, because he Indian, he wouldn't like the type of music that we like. And he's in the car jamming, turning music up and
Yeah.
listen to R&B, and he's jamming. And so again, that's just my, just my biases or whatever. And I'm aware of some of them and working on it. But I am definitely a cultural person. Like I don't know. I mean, like I said, I love cultural food. I've dated all over the world,
Yeah.
and so I am definitely a cultural person. But I definitely would say I have some biases. And one thing we talk about the name. So because I'm in astrology, numerology, and we talk about names. So like for instance, like Shalonda, you have a SHA. So with your S, like because your name says who you are, your name says a lot. So your name carries weight. So when you can look at a personality or the aspect of a person's life. So like Shalonda, the S, is like a number one. So S is somebody who may be like, the leader, wants to be the boss, wants to control. The H is someone who can have an organization, someone who can run an organization, supposed to have a big business. And then the A, again, because the A is the first vowel, someone who can be, again, wants to lead, have to be the center of attention, has to lead, have to be in control. But someone who's definitely a leader. The S could be someone who's very emotional as well. Whereas Kim, you and I have K's. So K's are the masters. So, but K's also, partnership is very important. Whether it's friendship, whether it's a relationship, partnership is very important because it is a 2, but it's an 11, which is a master number. You don't break down masters. So they are a master. They may be a master at all things, or they may be a master at one. But in typical, they are masters. They're very knowledgeable and know a lot. They can go from very low to very high, like the extreme levels. Like go from 0 to 100 real quick. And everyone may think they're sweet, but they can go all the way up. Now, the I in Kim name is someone which explains why you overthink, or the I is someone who has a lot of responsibility and they can't even help it. They just constantly taking on more responsibility, and cannot, they try to help it but cannot help it because it's just that I, in their name. Again, that's why it's very important what you name your child. But so it's just very interesting because again, when you think about like names like Shaquita, like when you look at that, it says a whole lot and it carries weight. And when you add the total name, I'm just doing just the first 2 letters. When you add the total name, it says a lot about that person, and that's why they are, stereotyped in certain ways. This is why people look at them a certain way, or why certain things happen in their life a certain way because of the name. So you want to be mindful, what you name your business, what you name your damn child, who you get married to, especially because you carry their last name, and that says a lot as well. So I would love to have a big topic on this because this says a lot, and it's a lot of information I can give on it. But that's all I'm gonna say for now.
We'll definitely pick that back up. Maybe on the
That's
next
good.
show. Remember, HMP fam, we have really thoroughly enjoyed our conversations with you tonight. We will be off on next Saturday due to other engagements with family. But we'll be back the following week. So we want you guys to hang in there, hang tight. Be sure to listen to our podcast. Be sure to like and share on our YouTube page and Facebook. We love you. This has been a delightful conversation. And for all you mothers out there and everyone who represents motherhood, have a lovely and
Happy
safe
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Good night.
Good night.